So for my case study this week, I did case study 9.2, which is the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders versus the Pussycat Cinema, and this is what I came up with. Alright, so our plaintiff in this is going to be the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders, and then the defendant is going to be the Pussycat Cinema. A little bit of background on the Pussycat Cinema. It is a New York corporation, and then on November 1978, the film Debbie Does Dallas was released, which is the whole point of this case study. A little bit of background about the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders, if nobody knows who they are. They are super popular. They are one of sports' most popular, influential cheerleading icons that aren't actually sports players or a football team. Everybody knows the uniform. It's going to be the white vinyl boots, the white shorts, a white belt. It has blue stars on the belt, a blue bolero blouse, a white vest that's decorated with 3 stars on each side that are blue, has white fringe around the bottom. Alright, everybody's seen this uniform. They've seen it in Halloween costumes. They've seen it on TV. They've seen it at the Dallas Cowboys games. The Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders are not just cheerleaders. This goes big into what they represent. They represent an icon. They represent a powerful woman. They represent the Cowboys as speaking icons, as marketing promoters, events. Like this says right here, in addition to this, they have license for manufacturing posters, calendars, t-shirts, everything with these Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders on them. Not once were they ever meant to represent necessarily a sex symbol, but more as to be an empowering cheerleading role. These cheerleaders are more iconic than the other NFL cheerleaders based on everybody does know what their uniform looks like. There are, I believe it said 36 women who perform these Dallas cheerleading routines. They also have television shows. They have shows on CMT where people are trying out to be Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders. Basically, it is wanting to show, that TV show is wanting to show the influence that being a Dallas Cowboys cheerleader can have on young girls' lives or a football team or anything like that. So basically, this is where our problem starts, is that in this film, Debbie Does Dallas, this is a sex film. The Pussycat Dolls Cinema produces sex films. I looked it up. All their films are sex films. The plot is that there is a cheerleader at a high school, which is Debbie. She was chosen to be a Texas cowgirl, and to raise money, Debbie and the cheerleaders perform sexual acts for money, which we know as prostitution, which is wrong. So in this movie, the final scene is Debbie wearing a Dallas Cowboys cheerleader uniform, very similar to the actual uniform that the cheerleaders wear, and then the scene lasts about 12 minutes. Now, the picture that the cinema uses for this screen is a picture of Debbie in the uniform, and then the captions on this poster, starring ex-Dallas Cowboy cheerleader Bambi Woods. And then you'll do more than cheer for this ex-Dallas cheerleader. Alright, so reading this thing, this article, where was it? Give me one second. Alright, so the main problem the plaintiff brought about this action was the Lanham Act, which I googled the Lanham Act for a little bit more information, and the Lanham Act goes like this. It's a civil action. So any person who are in connection with any good, services, or container for goods uses in commercial or in commerce any word, term, name, symbol, or device, or any combination thereof, or any false designation or origin, false or misleading description or fact, or false or misleading representation of fact, which is likely to cause confusion or to make or cause mistake or to deceive as to the affiliation, connection, or association of such person with another person, or as to the origin, sponsorship, or approval of his or her services or commercial activities by another person, or in commercial advertising or promotion misrepresents the nature, characteristics, qualities, or geographic origin of his or her or another person's goods, services, or commercial activities shall be liable in a civil action by any person who believes that he or she is or is likely to be damaged by such act. So, this is why the Cowboys cheerleaders are suing or pressing charges against the Pussycat Dolls Cinema, is because by that girl in that movie committing sexual acts in the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders uniform goes against everything the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders are working to promote. They are not a sexual sports team. They are not a sexual cheerleading team. Their uniform, right here. So then this is where the Pussycat Dolls Cinema tries to argue, is because they want to say that the defendants argue that the uniform is purely functional item necessary for the performance of cheerleading routines and that is therefore is not capable of becoming a trademark. All right. So the uniform itself, because it's functional, could possibly not be a trademark. But since, here it goes, but claims a trademark, this is what the Dallas Cowboys, because the plaintiffs claim, the trademark in a particular combination of colors and collections of decorations that distinguish plaintiff's uniform from those of other squads. Because their uniform is different than those of other squads. It is an iconic uniform. With the colors of the blue, the white, the silver, and the stars, it is established that if the design of an item is non-functional and has acquired secondary meaning, which the Cowboy Cheerleaders has, it has developed secondary meaning, that it is an icon, it is used for representing the Dallas Cowboys through television, promotion, TV shows, posters, calendars, pictures, websites, everything like that, that even if it is functional, it can still be trademarked. Alright, so basically the combination of the white boots, the white shorts, the blue blouse, the white star-studded vest, and the belt is an arbitrary design that makes otherwise functional uniform trademarkable. It's those items that make the uniform trademarkable. So in this movie, when that girl decides to put on that uniform that is not all the way correct, but still has those trademark items on it, that is where they cross the line. They tried to use this uniform to portray sexual acts, which makes the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders look like they were endorsing, however, this movie that they would never want their name to be a part of. So, because little girls look up to the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders. Our age girls look up to the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders. They're fun to watch. They're entertaining. They're good looking. They're very attractive girls. They're very in shape. They work very hard for what they do. So then whenever you confuse it with the Pussycat Dolls Cinema, as in the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders do support this type of activity, well then that's telling little girls to support this activity. So I could see why the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders would want to sue and get that uniform removed from that poster from a sexual connotation that it technically is not meant to be used for. This has happened a lot, actually, not just in sport cases, but there's other uniforms that are trademarked just like that, like the Hooters uniform, which has a bad stigma behind it as well. But since the orange shorts and that white shirt are trademarked, you can't sell that uniform. You can't reproduce that uniform. You can't use that uniform in any way. Same with if they were trying to use a Hooters uniform at that Pussycat Dolls Cinema, you could not use that because that is not what Hooters connotation is, even though it is a skimpy uniform. Same with the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders. They don't want that stigma because that's not what they represent in person to be represented by some other film industry. So that is my views on this case. That is also the views of the book. It didn't say how it was ruled. I'm guessing most likely that the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders did win this case. And yeah, thank you for listening.